not moms?
Because dads walk into my office and they're like, I want out, here's $5,000, call me when you need me. When mom walks in, it's, I want his heart, his soul, every bit of his skin. I want all the money, I want the kids, I want to get him fired from the job, I want him in jail, I want him turned into the IRS. He's an a-hole loser who's never loved me, and oh, I don't have any money, you got to go to him to get it anyways.
Shocked the nation with a 25% drop in divorces. But the question, of course, is how and what exactly changed within the past few years. Well, back in 2018, Kentucky became the first state to flip the script when it came to custody. You see, instead of automatically giving the mom primary custody and dad every other weekend Disney dad role, as many of you have seen over and over again, the law made 50-50 custody the default. Unless there's proof of real abuse or neglect, the court starts from equal parenting time. Here's why that's important. The more time dad spends with his kids, the less he will have to pay in child support. Before, divorces often meant that the mom walks away with the kid and a big child support check. After the law, that's not guaranteed anymore. Now critics, mostly women's groups, say this is unfair.
Of course.
They argue that some mothers feel trapped in bad marriages, even abusive ones, because they worry that dad will get half custody even if they divorce. And judges have been accused of ignoring abuse claims, all because the father didn't directly lay hands on the child. But here's the other side. Men see this as finally fair. Husbands say the system no longer rewards the wife for filing for a divorce just to get custody and child support. Instead, both parents have to share time, share responsibility, and share costs. So what Kentucky did was take out the financial incentive to blow up a marriage. And for a lot of men, that's exactly why they call this a win.
What if I told you the days of moms cashing out in divorce are over? A brand new law just flipped child support on its head. Stick around because this changes everything about money, custody, and who really wins after a breakup.
Divorce rates are dropping in Kentucky. I went there to figure out why. In 20...
Real quick, I just want to say that it's crazy that these moms want to take away custody and take everything from the dad. It's like, why would the child not need their father in their life? Maybe the dad got upset or yelled often, and they say it's abuse, but maybe it was just because he was in a terrible relationship and couldn't stand the wife. Jesus.
Kentucky became the first state to make 50-50 shared custody the default. That means that children split their time equally between both parents, and fathers pay less in child support the more time that they spend with their children. Before that, judges decided custody based on what they called the best interest of the child. Fathers said that usually relegated them to an every other weekend arrangement, the so-called Disneyland dad effect, while mothers got to spend most of the time with their children. Since the law passed, divorce rates have dropped. Between 2016 and 2023, divorces in the state fell 25%, compared to 18% nationwide. It's hailed as a victory for fathers' rights, but the story is more complicated. Some critics of the law say that people are staying in abusive marriages because they're afraid of leaving their children alone with a parent with a history of violence. One mom told me that her husband nearly killed her in 2023. She filed criminal charges and he was arrested. But less than 2 weeks after he got out of jail, a judge awarded him 50% custody of their son, indicating that the abuse wasn't a factor since he didn't lay hands on the child. The law has become a model for other states. Arkansas, West Virginia, Florida, and Missouri have passed their own versions of the equal custody presumption. Around 20 other states are considering it.
They are right. This is unfair. Because if it were truly fair, men wouldn't still be required to pay child support when both parents have split 50-50 custody. While real abuse does happen, we cannot pretend as if most marriages are abusive. They desperately try to convince you that they are defenseless, perpetual victims that need extremely one-sided and unfair protections.
Well, thank you for that, Black King Jesus of AI. Yeah, I mean, sometimes there are real abusive relationships, but as we see in so many videos and all of the divorce lawyer interviews that we've watched, a lot of women just make this stuff up because they're angry at the husband because they didn't get along with them. So, but I mean, I think special exceptions should be made if there is proof of violence and everything, but I just feel like there's so much, which There's a lot of. I'm reading a book right now, and I'm blown away by how much abuse there is, not just from men, but from women and towards children as well. But I mean, they should, if there's proof of that, they should definitely take that into consideration. But if not, a lot of the time it's just women making stuff up to make men miserable.
She fought so hard so that this man doesn't get 50-50, and she's screaming around about how she's so happy that she's got primary physical custody because she was looking at the 61,000, and she said, if I can get primary physical custody, then I can get access. I already got the kids, and now the kids allow me to tap in to $61,000. And when the arbitrator says, fine, I will give you the kids, she's like, yeah. And then the arbitrator says, okay, and I'm gonna give you $4,000, more than your kids need, $4,000 a month in child support. And y'all saw her reaction. She said, this is oh, come on. And look at Brian like, maybe this one, I don't really care either way. Is it really This is such...
What do you need more than $4,000 a month for? Cash and prizes, that's what divorce is all about now.
There are going to be people online that say you didn't get married because he wanted you to sign a prenup.
Correct.
So why did you not just sign the prenup?
In that moment, it was, I'd rather walk away from something knowing that I chose myself than to spend the rest of my life not being loved the way that I love somebody.
Translation.
Wait, so you didn't get married and walked away from a relationship and still ended up with nothing, and then no husband or lover because you wouldn't sign a prenup. If you had signed the prenup, you would have had a lover and still been the same. So basically, you're just dumb.
And I want to take his money and virtue signal while I do it.
Somebody.
Yep.
Does anyone else find it funny or even a little strange that the second Kentucky added laws for, equality in child support and custody cases during divorce, the suddenly divorce rates dropped 25%? It's almost like a lot of these women were only filing for divorce because they knew that they were going to win no matter what the circumstances were, right? Like, you could literally be a cheating tramp that has kids with other men and you're still going to get half.
Mm-hmm.
Not anymore. Now it's like, all right, we got to look at the case and see who's actually better for the kids, who can, has a place to provide for them and can actually, give them a stable environment. Not, okay, well, so you get the kids, and well, since the man works, he's gonna pay for it. That's not how that works anymore. And I just think it's funny that the second they enact this, the rates drop. It's almost like if women can't have their life subsidized by their ex, they're more willing to try to make things work. And don't.
Yeah, women want everything given to them on a silver platter. I see this all the time. One of the other places I work at, all these girls just get simped on by these dudes and they just eat it up all day. And none of them actually want to do any physical work. They just want to stand there and look pretty. It's so stupid. And women say, oh, well, now I'm staying in an abusive relationship. No, you're not staying in an abusive relationship. You realize you got into a relationship. Now it's going to cost you money to get out of it. And you're not going to win as hard.
They're like, but women are staying in abusive relationships. 71% of abuse isn't unilateral, meaning at least 7 out of 10 victims simply lost the fight they started. Not trying to cheapen what real victims go through, just saying that most of you aren't that. And rare cases don't, justify the whole, so you're still wrong.
This is for any women viewers here. If you want to know what real abuse is, not just, oh, my husband yelled at me and he is controlling and doesn't want me to go out with my friends dressed like a hoe, read the book called The Body Keeps Score. I'm in the middle of this book right now, and that demonstrates what real abuse is, what real trauma is. And if that's what your relationship is, then yeah, you're being abused. But if it's just your husband yelled at you and you think he's a narcissist, that's not abuse.
And how easy it is for an ex-wife to take the children, house, and assets, even in situations where the reason for the divorce was her own infidelity.
My last relationship, we broke up because he asked me to marry him, but then he asked me to sign a prenuptial agreement, and I said absolutely not.
Because you wanted safety and security in case anything ever happened.
I think that's bogus. I'm not gonna sign a piece of paper that says that if you leave me, I get nothing. Like, no, I think that I should have half of everything that you've worked your entire life for.
This can't be real.
And I think that's fair.
Please, this girl's going to hell. Straight to
I
hell.
date you for your money. I fell in love with your heart.
Well, then just sign the prenup and let this love story begin.
Love stories don't begin with prenups.
This one does.
Women don't need men for money.
Oh.
Statistics show single women own more houses than single men.
Yeah, from divorce.
The most shocking prenup I've ever seen, which was enforceable, had a provision that said that for every 10 pounds the wife gained in the marriage, she would lose $10,000 a month in alimony. He was very concerned that she was going to become less attractive and he was going to become more wealthy. So his solution to this was in the prenuptial agreement. He wanted a clause that said if they divorced, she was going to get like $70,000 a month for alimony. But for every 10 pounds she gained from the date of marriage, she would forfeit $10,000 a month worth of alimony. And it was designed to sort of create an incentive that she would remain thin.
Oh my God.
And that was enforceable.
Oh my God.
Meaning they tried to challenge and set aside that provision. And the court said, this is a disgusting provision. I don't know why you married this person. But it's enforceable. It's a contract. The two of you signed it, and you had a right to sign it, and you agreed to these rules, and they may be ridiculous rules, but you agreed to them, and you have a right to do that. I think it's a kind of love. I think it's a form of love. Is it a form of love I'd be interested in? No, I think it's very shallow in some way.
Well, you know what? To be fair, you get with someone because they're attractive, and you don't want them to just let themselves go and become unattractive. Schmex becomes less enjoyable in those cases for some people, and then you don't want to necessarily look at someone like that. If you wanted to marry a big girl, you'd marry a big girl to begin with.
There's something very honest about it.
Sorry, Jesus is a little shallow.
You can't argue with the fact that there's something very upfront about it. He was making very clear and putting in writing, here's the value you bring to this relationship. I consider your physical appearance vitally important to this relationship.
You want to be the trophy wife that doesn't work, then you need to stay looking like a trophy. That's pretty fair.
And by the way, don't skip the other side of that equation. She was going to get $70,000 a month. That's a very impressive number. So I think she also understood there was a value to be attached to him as well.
Mm-hmm.
Is it something I would be interested in on either side of that equation? No. But do I have a right to say to someone that's not love? I don't think I have a right to say that to someone. I think that if this is an economy the two of you have agreed on.
Did you know that equal shared parenting laws decrease divorce?
I think what's messed up is people want a prenup to protect themselves because you know what? Lots of stuff happens and we all see it happen all the time. And women just deny that, oh, like, I'm not going to divorce you and take everything. If we get divorced, I'll just walk away. That's BS. As soon as it happens, they go into full take everything mode. But they assume because you want to protect yourself, that means, oh, you foresee a divorce coming. This means you think we're going to break up. No, it's just protection. People need to get that, like, oh, this means you're thinking about what breakups in the future. You don't see us being together forever just because they want to protect their assets in case something happens.
Divorce rates? Well, it's true, and Kentucky proved it. In 2018, Kentucky passed a 50-50 equal shared parenting law. And since then, divorce rates have slowly declined. 25% declined, to be exact. Now, I know what some of these crazy toxic women are out here going to say, well, that's because women are locked in their marriages. No, that's because instead of walking away and thinking that they can weaponize the family courts to take the kids and get a shit ton of money, women realize that that's no longer possible in the state of Kentucky. So they're staying. They're working on their marriage. They're going to marriage counseling, and they're making it work in the best interest of their families.
Good.
But the divorce system, where there's no fault and where there's no 50-50, it's easy for a woman to walk away because she knows she's going to get the lion's share of the assets. She's probably going to get majority custody, and she's probably going to get child support. So what's keeping her there? If it's not the perfect situation and it's not Prince Charming like in the movies, she doesn't want to stay. Toxic women will choose their happiness over their family. Men every day will choose their family over their own happiness. And that's the big difference. But when you take away the options of that financial gain of child support and the guarantee of custody, women are choosing to stay. 50-50 equal share parenting laws are not only in the best interest of children, I guess they're also in the best interest of marriages and the nuclear family.
Oh, there you have it, folks. if there's no incentive to get divorced, it's less likely to happen, and people are more likely to try and work things out, which is what you should do, especially if you have kids. As I've said in other videos, do not put your children through divorce if they don't have to be, and don't talk trash on the other person because you didn't get along with them. Don't take their father away, because we all know, as we've seen, they need a father in their life to become a proper human being and not end up in jail or on the streets or doing dumb stuff, because you need a dad, and women love to just take that away. Like that other lawyer said, they just want to take us their heart, their skin, everything, make them go to jail. It's like how would you have so much hatred towards someone like that? It's ridiculous. And if that is your attitude, then Jesus says you are going straight to hell. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you thought in the comments. I really appreciate you all. Have a blessed day, and I will see you later. Amen.